Hello and welcome to the Arn and Eddie experience. My name is Eddie Sideburns. Joining along me as always is Arn. Um,
Hi.
and yeah, This is an interesting episode. It's kind of the culmination of all the football. We've got a lot more to talk about, but it's an interesting one, Arn, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like last week we barely had an episode. It was like, well, we'll just talk about the FA Cup final and then let Will Cooling talk for an hour and a half. But this week it's like I was trying to do a run sheet for it, and it's like there's a lot, so we should probably get into it like before we're here for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're not going to waste too much time because I say the football season is now officially not officially, still got one more thing to go. Two more things to go: Champions League and Europa League. But pretty much everything's
Yes.
been wrapped up. We're gonna talk about the first thing we watched, which was the Women's Champions League final between Barcelona and Chelsea. And yeah, it was it was something that kicked off quite spectacularly. Barca running out 4-0 winners. There we go. It was. I think Chelsea were just completely outclassed. Very much so. Wouldn't you think, Arn?
Yeah, so I'm just going to give a shout out to Athers in the chat there, since you're an actual match on Friday. So I'm going to an actual match next weekend, so we can talk about that as well.
Are you?
I am.
Oh, what are you going to go
On
see?
I want to go and watch Alvechurch versus Bromsgrove Sporting in a field. So that would be lovely.
Yeah, 4-0 Barca, clean winners.
4-0, absolutely rutted them. We're not used to finals being this like so one-sided, but it was like Barcelona have like the two best wingers in women's football.
Yeah.
And they just utilize those players, like Hermoso in particular. You can see the Hermoso being name dropped up there. Like, she was virtually unplayable, and it was just a nightmare from Chelsea from the kickoff. They scored a comical own goal. I just realised I'm scrolling up and down there instead of paying attention.
It's fine. It's okay.
They scored a comical own goal like 2 minutes in, and it was just it didn't get any better from there. I actually missed that. I tuned in at like 2 minutes past the hour, and it was like, oh.
It was very comical, and it was kind of. I think Emma Hayes was just kind of there to there to compete in terms of that, and try her best because she's.
Emma looked very upset. She was on the sidelines, going like, "Oh yeah, we've been outplayed." Like 5 minutes in, she was just looking at the pitch, going like, "Oh, this is going to be a long day."
Oh, like at the beginning of when they were doing the whole thing to begin with, she seemed very like, "We're here, we're gonna give our all," and that's all it is. And I think it was, as I say, it was Barca doing what Barca do. Like, you had Marta playing well, you had everyone was on form, and I just think Chelsea just didn't have that little bit. But she had recruited people, and she had, signed people to try and compete. But Barca on their day were just absolutely phenomenal. The comical own goal, some of the tiki taka play for the goals were just, it's just, and I think they were very lucky. I think because it could have been a lot more.
Yeah,
Very
I
much.
think my main takeaway from it from a Chelsea point of view is that I know Millie Bright is like an English international central defender. They're not. She's not very good.
The only person I felt really sorry for was Erin Cuthbert of the Scotland women's national team, because I hardly saw anything with her in it. But yeah, it was not a really good weekend for. Yes, I did. We'll go on to that in just a second. It wasn't really a good weekend for Chelsea in cup finals. I mean, yes, they did get a vengeance against Liverpool, but they were pretty awful.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw I put a tweet out, and it was like the epic handshake thing from
Predator.
From Predator. I almost said Commando. From Predator. And it was basically I tagged it equal rights, and it was Chelsea on one arm, Chelsea on the other arm, and bottling cup finals in the middle. And I was gutted that only got like 4 likes. I thought that's probably the best thing I've tweeted all year.
I'm gonna probably assume that I did like it. Yes, by the way, I did watch bits of the Forest Green Newport game. I did watch a 42-year-old man score a goal. It was a beauty of a goal.
I saw the goal. To be fair, it was an absolute banger from Kevin Ellison.
It was absolutely beautiful. I think
Someone in my age brackets, I respect that. I've got more hair though.
so. I think where did Chelsea go from this cup final loss? I think Emma has still told Abramovich that she'll get them there again next year. And I imagine Roman might probably give her a little bit of money to kind of help with that. But
I think this has been a wake up call to a lot of the women's teams that there is a very exciting attacking style of football going on out there, and could get left behind. I think Barcelona are like the first of the big like giants of European football who've really got behind their women's team.
yeah,
Like we've been looking at like Wolfsburg and Lyon have been like the more traditional women's giants in recent years. So it's interesting to see that the big teams are starting to catch up, that they're starting to sink a bit of money into it, and Barcelona have seen rewards for that.
and you look at the people they got to the cup final. You know, Benfica, Chelsea beat Benfica, Atletico, Wolfsburg, and Bayern, and Barcelona basically dispatched a PSV dispatched of Fortuna, Man City, and then Paris Saint-Germain in the semis. And I think one of the things you could see with the women's league becoming a bit more interesting is the Americans that came over when their league was shut over. So you had the likes of Tobin Heath, Kristen Press, Alex Morgan, who I don't really think had much time at Spurs. And I like, and you had the two at City. The Man City had Sam Ewis and Rose Lavelle, and I like when that happens because it's good to see them come over. I've tried to kind of watch a bit more.
Yeah, it's a very good standard over in the States. And I like to think that the women's game has improved. It's gone up a level over the past like 5 years, and it's gone from being people were laughing at the standard of some of it, and defensively there's been a little bit of a step up, but attacking it's gone up significantly. I think.
Yeah, and I think I saw.
They're good games as well. It's an exciting sport to watch.
Yeah, you saw someone going about the own goal and bring up. You wouldn't see that in men's football, and it's just like shut up.
There's a fluke. Flukes happen.
Yeah,
happen everywhere.
And one of the things you were going to just put a quick word on was the her game 2 movement stuff that was happening.
Yeah, I caught that because it was that was last. Was it last Saturday the cup final? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was on cup final day. It's basically a group of female supporters / journalists who basically put out a little video explaining by passing like a note to each other, like off the side. It was like a gimmick off the side of the screen, and then the other one pulled it off the other side of the screen, and it had something different written on it. But it was it was about the like sexism that I've experienced being football supporters. And actually just having opinions on the game has led to just a load of drivel coming their way, like get back to the kitchen and all this business. And it's the kind of outdated dinosaur level of thought process that just kind of needs to be washed aside. I could expect it in like the 70s, but like 2021.
You saw a little bit of that come with the Karen Carney stuff when she basically she basically said something about critical of Leeds United.
Yeah, to be fair,
social media started that.
It's fine. You can criticize like a female pundit or a female fan for having a bad opinion, but it's not a bad opinion because she's a woman. It's just a bad opinion. And that's a distinction that I think some people are struggling to make, and they're just going instantly for the insult, and it's just pointless. It's needless.
Yeah. And
let's move on.
We'll probably cover a lot more women's football here as best as we can. Might even get a guest on, because guest on and maybe talk about women's football and just talk about their love of football. It'd be quite interesting to hear. So yeah. Next bit.
So I'm just going to drop on. Athers has put up that Reguilon scored a belting own goal for Spurs. So you're saying that you don't get goals like that in the men's game, and Reguilon scored this ridiculous own goal last week.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? You don't expect it, and yeah, he's right. He'd probably rather listen to Karen Carney. Sometimes McMahon.
I really like Alex Scott. I think she's knowledgeable. I think she's good at her job.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the
I can't
pundits that were
complain.
announced? Because I think Emma Hayes was announced as a pundit for ITV's coverage of the Euros.
Oh, okay. Well, she really knows what she's talking about. So
yeah, so I'm quite glad that's
good.
happening. I mean, I do not like that their only Scottish pundit is Graham Souness, but that's just life for you.
I don't know how he keeps getting the work. To be quite honest, he's very out of touch.
Plant one flag in Galatasaray and apparently, win a couple of things and you become a pundit that everyone wants to listen to. But anyway, move on before I go into a rant about Graham Souness. So, as we were saying at the beginning, the football has all ended, majority of it, other than 2 finals to come. I think Arn might have a smile on his face when I talk about this topic. Arn, League 1 has finished.
Oh yeah. That was basically we're going to go with the big baby face win first. Oh, yeah. So let's pull up the league table.
Of course.
As you can see, Paris Saint-Germain, they have not won the league title this year, despite a net spend over the past decade of, I think it's 1.3 billion. Lille have actually made money over the same period of time.
Do you want to just quickly move the Arnonnet experience? I just want to see if Nantes finished below the relegation zone.
I'll just move that up.
They did.
They did.
Cool.
Is that not a play? I thought that was a playoff.
I'm not sure.
I think third one from bottom's a playoff, to be quite honest.
I don't think so, but carry on about Lille, the big baby faces that they are.
Yeah, Lille. I watched the Lille game. They were very calm, very composed. Jonathan David scored a really good goal. Yeah, Jazz just telling me there's a playoff down the bottom there. And Dominus. There is a playoff for the third from bottom, so Nantes are in the playoff for the against the team from Ligue 2.
Oh, they're against Toulouse. Okay, thanks, guys.
It's theirs to lose.
Theirs to lose. Hello.
Yeah, Lille, they were calm and composed. They didn't really look troubled, which was a surprise to me because against Saint Etienne, they just didn't settle down. They found it really hard going, and they came away with a 0-0. And I was concerned, shall we say, that they were going to bottle it on the last day. But no, they hung on. They did concede a goal in the 92nd minute, which was a little bit of a squeaky bum time for any Lille supporters watching at home. But they deserve to win.
Andy Gibney will be extremely happy about that. He's a massive Lille fan, so I'm sure he'll be good. I know that Matt Richards was talking about how I think Jonathan Pierce was on commentary, and it felt like it was all going to go downhill because he's a massive Lyon fan. So, yeah, I'm very glad the baby faces won. I mean, they only lost 3 games though.
That's good going.
Yeah,
people keep saying it's a farmers' league, but you watch League and there is some genuine quality in them. Quality in that league, especially in like midfield. They seem to be generating an awful lot of high quality midfield players in that league.
Yeah, they are the winners of Uber Eats. They've won the Uber Eats trophy. So yeah, Mbappe. We've got some comments from some new people. Arian Nocter is here. Happy birthday, Nian. Late birthday.
Mbappe to Liverpool. I'm not seeing that. Happening.
I've heard that's been rumbling. I mean,
well, his contract's up. I mean, we can talk about this at another episode, but Mbappe, his contract is up not this season, but the end of next season, and there's kind of been umming and ahhing about whether he's going to sign a new deal. So,
can we just quickly talk about, because obviously we're talking about Ligue 1, can we just talk about how awful that penalty miss was from Neymar?
In the streamer showdown this weekend, Neymar in FM21 missed a penalty to the exact same spot, just to show you how accurate Football Manager is.
Now I'm going to search up who has him in the Moyes just so I can say, penalty taker.
Oh, I think it's Jick. I think Jick's got him in the Moyes. I think he drafted him round 1.
We'll talk a bit more about that at the end. But yeah, so basically, well done, Leo. Big baby faces finally won. PSG. Pochettino just can't do it. He's an utter bottle job, that man.
He just can't win anything, can he?
Oh, there were so many bottle jobs from ex-Spurs players. I'm gonna probably make an enemy out of the King of Boom Boom in a minute, but Pochettino couldn't get it done. Vertonghen in Benfica absolutely bottled it in Portugal in that cup. Ridiculous. Send them down. Basically, Spurs, the ultimate bottle jobs.
They almost bottled the Europa Conference League place on the last day of the season, but somehow instead ruined Leicester's time. That it kind of set me off, that did, because I thought this is going to be the start of a horrible weekend of sports results when Leicester lost at home to Tottenham, even though Chelsea couldn't get it done. I thought, oh no, we're heading downhill. Lille are going to get battered. Atletico won La Liga as well, so it was just.
I mean, Athletic. I love Rian so much. I'm so glad he's here. Spurs are bottle jobs. Atletico beat the Royalists.
I have the Premier League table.
Okay, are we going to do a quick
we'll have a quick go through this. Obviously, Man City won by quite some distance.
Simple,
and easy. The only real difference between this Man City and the one from last season is they added a really, really good central defender. It's only cost them like 1.7 billion or something to assemble the team, but now he's finally got a centre back who can actually block shots. They've run away with the league.
Yeah. So
manager of the year, Pep.
So let's do a quick fire. I'll name a team. You tell me what they thought of their season, and then vice versa. So Man City, simple. They cakewalked it. I don't think there was any doubt that they were gonna lose the league.
Yeah, it was pretty much over the moment Jordan Pickford went through Virgil van Dijk. I think that was pretty much the end of the season right there. I also agree with Domi. He just said manager of the year, Moyes.
Yeah. So Man City, simple, elegant, quick win, ran ahead of everyone. Manchester United, overachieved.
It's a real mixed bag season for Man United, because some of the time they looked like they just couldn't win at all, and if it wasn't for Bruno Fernandes, I think they'd have been like 7th. Mm-hmm. But then, sort of towards the end of the season, they were playing quite well. They played well against big teams.
There was a video on, I think, one of the United stands or something like that, where a man was saying that he thought Mata was a better player than Bruno Fernandes, and I was almost like, who let him out the house? Yeah, who let him out the house? Alphas will answer that question in just a minute. Yeah,
undefeated away. Yeah.
I think Rashford, Greenwood, I think one of the things I'm still worried about is what's Donny van de Beek's what's his kind of role in this team at this point now. But
I think when Ollie realised that that Cavani actually was really good still, that was the point at which they kind of solidified their position in the league. Mm-hmm. I know Bruno is probably the signing that's made the big difference for them. And if they want to get any better, they need to go and find their Ruben Diaz, because at the moment, central defence for them is a pretty rough area.
Don't be so rude to Slabhead. Come on now. He's England's hope for this. He's England's hopes for
the... Slabhead's all right. Slabhead's problem is Harry Maguire's problem. Harry Maguire's problem is that he's just not very quick. And Man United like to play a high line, which means they should probably sign a quick defender to play alongside him to kind of compensate for that, which they haven't done that. And they seem to be looking at strikers this summer. So you need a centre-back, lads. Otherwise, it's second at best.
Yep.
And with Liverpool and Chelsea coming on, probably 4th.
Okay, Liverpool. I mean, I'm shocked they're there, if I'm being honest. I think their season was obviously ruined once Van Dijk got injured.
Go on, Jordan.
That 7-2 drubbing against Aston Villa will stick in my mind. So yeah, Chelsea with Tuchel. Yeah, I think Chelsea have done all right. Would you say, Aaron?
Yeah, he's got them playing. I can't really
Um,
complain about what he's done since he went there. Although I think Lampard got battered for being tactically inept. And I think that's a little bit unfair. His main tactical error was playing Kepa in goal. If he'd actually picked, I don't know, any other goalkeeper, he probably wouldn't have got sacked.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Because Kepa's rubbish, mate. He's terrible.
Kepa. Remember that time that Kepa was like wanting to stay on the pitch in that FA Cup, and you're just thinking, "What on earth are you on, pal?" Leicester, Brendan Rodgers. It's a thing. He'll sometimes be. He'll sometimes have good moments. He'll sometimes have bad moments.
Yeah, the trouble with Leicester is they've been in that position. They've been in that top four in that Champions League position for most of the last 2 seasons, but they haven't finished in it, either of them.
Yeah, I mean, when Vardy finally goes, it's going to be an interesting decision to who they replace and what they do from there.
I don't think Ian Nacho is going to get the job done, to be quite honest.
No, they'll need to go and look out for someone. Answering Rian's question, can West Ham solve the surprise package follow-up syndrome? Can they handle first day to Sunday? If they sign Jesse Lingard, then I would say yes. They have a lot of potential. They've done really well this season. Moyes is a wildly.
I like the fact that we just can't call him Moyes anymore. He's the Moyes.
We'll explain why. I think Moyes is his good manager. I mean, he had an awful time at Manchester United, and when he went to Real Sociedad, and then had that spell at Sunderland that one time, he somehow just seems to like West Ham. It just seems to work.
I think West Ham have benefited immensely from not having any fans
in that massive stadium.
Yeah. Having no fans in there, I don't know if you saw it. There was a graphic they did for pre-season before this season started, and the percentage of fans of each team that were optimistic about the season. And most of them were like 97, 96, and it basically went down. And there was only a few that weren't like up in the 80s and 90s. West Ham's was at 8%. So yeah, those fans were not looking forward to this season. They thought it was going to be miserable. They thought they were probably going to go down. To finish 6th after that is an incredible achievement. I don't know how he's done it, to be honest.
Bowen, Benrahma, Lingard. The signings have just worked. They've just clicked. They've just clicked well and played a decent, attractive football that, they've ended up taking it to teams. And, and just bringing it, whereas some of these teams just don't.
Do you think next year it's going to be a case of people realise that they are going to come at them and perhaps prepare better for them?
I think so. I mean, again...
Or are they going to play differently themselves? I don't know.
It depends on who West Ham sign, because they're going to bring in probably a couple more players to kind of balance everything out and have people, and probably rotate, obviously, with everything that's going on. So, I mean, we'll just need to see. They're going to be playing in everyone's favourite tournament of all time, the Europa League. So we'll just
Europa League.
Moving quickly on, because we've got to get through like 20 teams, so we might as well.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to go all the way down. There's...
I'll tell you now. We'll probably stop at the 10, and maybe go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bit, but Tottenham,
Tottenham, who wanted to save money so much that they sacked Mourinho the week before a cup final. And I don't know, where do you go from here? If rumours are correct, they're going to go after Nuno, who Nuno Espirito Santo has been one of the most boring managers in the league this year. Wolves are not in the top 10, you'll notice. They're down there on 45 points. Genuinely shocking for the majority of the season. When you look at the players that he's got there as well, I don't know what was going on.
I think Wolves kind of had to come back down to reality. I think the Jimenez injury maybe caused a lot of things.
I was going to address the Gattuso thing. Gattuso's supposed to be going to Juve.
Oh man. We don't hate Spurs, Paul. We don't hate Spurs, first things first. We just like laughing at them. We'll wait till
Spurs are funny. If you can't laugh at Spurs, what?
Wait till I go in number 8. Okay, wait till I go in number 8. So yeah, I think Spurs. Yeah, I think Ten Hag's not leaving Ajax for Spurs. Graham Potter potentially, I could see that. Brendan Rodgers,
But I
no.
don't know if you see the table there. Brighton are 16th on
I,
41 points.
I could see Pot. Yeah, but the thing is, right?
I
That's
can
with
see
Bright.
Potter going there. I can
That's
see him
with
doing a
Brighton.
good job. And I can see Tottenham getting impatient and sacking him after about 6 months.
That's with Brighton though. I mean, the players are going to be different. I like Fabio Silva before we even get underway, although that's just maybe my FM love for him. But yeah, it's still a little bit baffling at the age he is. So yeah, Tottenham will just it's so funny. And then we move on to this absolute shower of garbage at number 8. What a
Oh, come on now.
useless team. And I love JP so much, but what a useless team.
Arsenal, I think they had to have this season to clear out some of the dead wood. And I think next year they're going to be significantly better. They're going to make some moves. Arteta is a good coach.
They're an informed team because they've won all their games. Like in the last 5 games they've won. And I mean, I still don't know how they won against Chelsea in that game. Are they going to be glad they don't have any European football this year? Yes. Will they probably have this season to rebuild? Yes. But
I'd love for them to get rid of Kroenke. It's not going to happen. I think Willian is supposed to be going to MLS, so that'll be a delight. I'm sure Arsenal fans will quite happily fly him there. Have a whip round, get in the flights.
Get rid of Xhaka. Try and see if you can sign Odegaard again for another season. Won't happen, but try. Get an Eddie Nketiah, get him more games.
Honestly, I think they're going to be better next year. They do have a lot of very talented young players, and yeah, we'll see.
Right. Now we're going to talk about my even favourite manager, and we'll do top 10, and that's us. And then I'll maybe just briefly mention the other one. Bielsa, what a man! What a man!
I gotta hand it to him. When they were coming up, I was like, I think they're going to do well because the style of play that they employed was always going to rattle a few cages. But you looked at last season, you look at how good Norwich were at the start. Like they set themselves out as like an attacking team who were going to cause teams problems and Pookie. And it was like I felt like they were going to do the business, and then they ended up last. And admittedly, they've bounced back up, but
so the only major signing they make is 26 million for Rodrigo. The rest of the players, I think, have either already played or just coming in. Yeah, they sign Rafinha, they sign a lot of people for undisclosed. They get in Jack Harrison. They play an incredibly entertaining football. It's not boring. If you're watching a Leeds game, it's not boring, even if you're even if they're losing.
I've enjoyed them.
It's an enjoyable game. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what he does next season. You said he'd rumored with Spurs. Would that be correct?
There was a rumor that he'd been offered the Spurs job, and basically he said no, he wasn't interested in going. Bielsa has always been like a short-term manager, but when he came to Leeds, he basically came in and said, "Look, I want to stay here long term, but also I want to have the level of control over this whole thing as a project that would allow me to enjoy doing that." And Leeds kind of looked at how badly they'd done over the previous 20 years and went, "Yep, let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen?" And now they're flying high. And I've been really impressed with how they've set about the Premier League. And this has been a really good first season, and I don't think it's going to go the same way as like Sheffield United were really good last year, and they were absolutely pants this season.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go that bad for them next year. It might be a bit more challenging, but the way that they play is it's that high tempo, high press. I think they're going to continue to cause teams problems. I think Sheffield United was very much let's hoof it long and cause them problems by playing differently, but Leeds are just better.
Yep.
They're a better team than that.
Everton in 10th. It'll be an interesting season for them. Villa in 11th.
I believe Everton, that's the worst league finish Carlo Ancelotti's ever had as a manager.
Okay. Villa, Villa will just continue to live on. Newcastle, Joe Willock basically need Joe Willock to stay, otherwise they may be scunnered. And we say goodbye to Sam Allardyce's unbeaten streak as a relegation specialist. Farewell.
Oh, you could be a
Farewell.
relegation specialist now. You could just get relegated
Oh,
all the
relegation
time.
survivalist. Sorry.
I'd be
Farewell
quite
to
happy with
him.
it.
Farewell to Chris Wilder, who'd already been sacked.
They,
Paul
they
Heckingbottom,
definitely
Sheffield
should have
United.
stuck with Slavan Bilic. Just that's my take on that.
And farewell, and it causes me great pain to say this, farewell to AEW owner and TEW man, because that's clearly what he's doing, Tony Khan and your dogs in Fulham. I'm so sorry. It's not ended the way you want it, but maybe you'll get back up again next year. Those dogs, well and truly safe in Fulham. Allegedly. Now, quickly moving on.
I said nothing.
Yeah, you said nothing. I said it. Quickly moving on. F1. So Harry Kane is leaving. Oh, before F1, Harry Kane is running away. We doesn't know where he's going. Man City seem to be the front runners for it.
Yeah, well, they do need a striker because Aguero's off to Barcelona. I don't necessarily think he's a good fit, but he does have a wide range of skills. So I've heard it. People say that he's successful at Spurs because they build the team around him, but I feel like he can play in a range of positions and a range of styles, even though he's very good at one particular one, which is England centre forward bashing goals in. He can play that false nine. He can drop deeper than that.
Yeah,
he's shown he can do that. He's got enough of a passing range and a work ethic that he could, at a push play, in midfield. So that's right up Pep Guardiola's alley, because he hasn't played with a striker all season and they've won the league by a country mile. So
yeah, he's now got one. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think Man United would go for him. City could go for Haaland. I mean, his dad played there previously. But maybe he's waiting for Leeds to blend out the big money. For Leeds.
From what I hear, Kane would be cheaper.
Well, I mean,
because
Haaland's
Dortmund are after a lot of money.
I mean, I assume Haaland is going for at least 90 plus, and I know that sounds ridiculous, me just talking about that like it's casual, but in this day and age it is.
I've heard 80 million is the figure I've heard thrown around for Harry Kane.
I mean, Daniel Levy could do a good deal for him, potentially. I mean, you know what Daniel Levy's like. I'm
sure Levy's all for it, because, he'd get more money.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's good at those things. He's good at kind of making deals. Like, look at the deal they got for Bale when Bale left. They stayed on that money for quite some time.
Yeah, Damien's saying triple digits. I agree with him.
But yeah, so we'll see where Kane goes. We'll keep an update on that because we've got some transfer stuff. We're probably doing
Kane to Walsall.
I
bet James will be happy about that.
Affers is on the money with that. One quick thing I did want to mention, because Affers mentioned and I promised we would talk about it. He asked, what do we think of the 6 EFL clubs in the Premier? That one. When there was 22,000 for the cup final and 22,000. I think it's a bit ridiculous.
So what's the deal with that? Because are they like allocated that many tickets, and then there's tickets on sale for neutrals or for sponsors? Why is it so low?
Yeah. I mean, 3,950 is not a big enough number. So I would definitely say they should put more in, but I'm sure Affers will give us a response in a minute. While we wait for that.
I feel that's low.
Formula One, Monaco.
Like very low.
It was exciting if you were not a fan of Mercedes.
I kind of like Monaco so I was talking to Mike and I wasn't talking to Mike about this. I tweeted something and Mike and Dommy then talked about it for a while underneath. I'm just going to put this up because it's 10,000 crowd, 4,000 each rest corporate. I don't know why it's 10,000. Why not 20?
Yeah, that sounds a bit. If Monaco is fun if you watch the onboards, yes. I saw
Yeah.
Mazepin's one where he has an absolute rager.
Mazepin, you absolute clown, mate. He's telling him switch the dial on the dashboard. Press 85, and he's going, I can't, I'm driving.
And then he's like, I can't, I'm in Monaco.
I'm driving. You're last, mate.
So yeah,
just pull over, stop, punch the number in, and then drive off again.
So it looked all nice for Ferrari. It looked like Ferrari were gonna maybe make it interesting, and then Leclerc's gearbox went no. Bottas and Mercedes tried to make it interesting by having the worst pit stop I've ever seen.
That was very funny though.
But it was, because it's absolutely hilarious because it was just a very funny thing to watch Mercedes just struggle. Max, Super Max won. Then Sainz was in second. Norris was in third. It was a very interesting battle for third between Norris and Perez. There was
the problem you got with Monaco is there's no overtaking.
No,
there was one overtaking the entire race, and the director missed it.
The director cut to Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll nearly crashed, which I thought was funny. So it's kind of a win-win there.
And then what happened? It was there was a funny moment where Leclerc looked so miserable as the anthem's playing, and like Daniel Ricciardo's just bobbing his head to the national anthem, and it looks like he's dancing. And it was just, you felt so bad for him.
It is really pretty though.
It's a really pretty place. It's a very, I like it. They did a bit in Drive to Survive, which no one will talk about because we don't like Drive to Survive.
I do.
Where they showed like Tom Brady and stuff like that, and I was like, that's pretty. It's a pretty looking good place.
Yeah, the best part of the Monaco Grand Prix, and I'm not just doing this to wind Dommy up, was when they decided to shoot a little video of Serena Williams walking towards the finish line to get the checkered flag out, and then when she was up there waving it, the wind caught it and it went, and she was just waving a stick around with a bit of flag hanging off.
Oh, and next up for that is Azerbaijan next week, isn't it? Or not this week, but the next
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, so not this week, but next week is Azerbaijan.
It's June the 6th.
June the 6th, Azerbaijan, where who will finish 19th and 20th? It's probably Haas.
Unless they crash.
Unless George Russell has unless George Russell has some kind of issue with his car, it will most likely be Haas. I guess okay. Arn, I think I'm going to quickly move on because Putin's being brought up now in the chat. We were going to talk about the Crystal Palace job and the Wolves job and the Tottenham job. Crystal Palace seems like it's going to be Lampard.
It does. I was looking at the odds. I'll see if I can just pull the odds up. Crystal.
While we're doing that,
Fuck Eddie.
While we're doing that, Crystal Palace probably going to be Frank Lampard. Would not be surprised. Hodgson is retiring. He got a guard of honor, which was really nice. The Wolves job could be in a bit of pickle. Bruno Lag is the favourite, but he.
Yeah, I do apologise for putting up the Sun's website here. Lampard currently 11-4 on.
I've seen that Steve Cooper's agent is apparently been at Crystal Palace's stadium, so that could be a thing. I don't think
Eddie had down at 11s. It does look like it's going to be Frank Lampard.
Yeah, Eddie Howe seems like he's coming up here and will be finally signing a deal with Celtic at some point. The Wolves job, there could be controversy with that. The manager they have in mind, Bruno Lag, may have difficulty getting a work permit. Due to something about he's only had one season as a full-time manager, and there's something with.
Yeah, but you can ask Joe, and he'll say, "Look, it was a really good season. they played some fantastic football. They won one game 10-0.
Yeah,
like who doesn't want that?"
There's a bit of issue, obviously, with post-Brexit negotiations and work permits, so that'll be interesting. It's a shame, so that's a thing. The Spurs job. Probably Nuno. Maybe I wouldn't see Ten Hag getting it. I wouldn't see Ten Hag going for it. I'd imagine he'd be happy Ajax, but I could be wrong.
They've been sniffing around several different managers, one of which was Ten Hag. They They're also looking at Brendan Rodgers, Simone Inzaghi, Graham Potter. We've mentioned.
Gennaro Gattuso, get Gennaro Gattuso back in.
He's not even on that. Sarri is not happening.
I'd like it if Sarri was in it. That'd be hilarious. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for that. We just want to say, since we need to kind of wrap this up a little bit, the David Moyes Invitational is back. The draft is currently slowly undergoing like a very, very slow draft. It's been
I'm
fun.
enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it, but it's just I'm picking last this round. It's gonna be maybe 3 days before I get to pick, and probably by that point all my picks are gone.
Who's your favorite player that you've drafted so far? Who's the one that you've been like, yes, got him?
I'd probably say, I mean, João Felix is maybe one that I was kind of. I think that was one of my first picks. I was kind of already okay. That I knew I was going to try and get him. Dominic Szoboszlai from Leipzig. I'm very interested to see how he plays. So that'll be good.
He was on my shortlist, but I wouldn't have gone. You went the second round on him, and I was like, that's a bit early, isn't it?
I think I just again, I'm not really interested about what round I picked them in. I just kind of want to make sure I get the people on my list, and that's it.
That's fair.
Quick thing about King Cause Rian is here. Congratulations to Big Lefty Phil Mickelson for winning the PGA Championship. It was very good for a man that age to win that championship. Domi doing his own plug for our show. Get him banned from the chat, please. Oh, you've already posted that. Anyway, yes. I'm gonna have to give him congratulations, even though his team lost to who were they against in the Portugal Cup final? 1-0. Vertonghen gave it away.
Is it Braga?
It was Braga. Congratulations to João on winning the Football Prediction League, the Arn and Eddie Football Prediction League. I'm calling it like that now. You can't change my mind. Well done.
It's the João Prediction League now.
Well, for this year,
he's bossed it.
We still got the Euros where we're doing a thing. We might invite more people into it. If you would like to join, let us know.
Yeah, if you want to join, then hit me up.
Hit Arn up.
And what are you thinking about hitting things? Why don't you hit that subscribe button down there?
And Paulo Di Canio is Spurs manager. Yes, Rian, why not? Because that would just be wild and daft. I like how you take up and then put it back right down after you probably saw what was the last bit.
Oh no, I saw it. That's why I put it up quick.
Right.
I don't think it counts if it's written.
Okay. If it's written, it doesn't count. Okay.
I don't think so.
If you mouth it, does it count? Are you doing the official Euro 2020 Fantasy League? I did ask Arn about it.
Yeah, and I said we'll talk about it, and then I forgot.
Yeah, so we haven't talked about it, but most likely we probably will.
Probably, yes. Probably.
I'll convince
We're very, very excited about the Euros.
Yeah, which reminds me, we're going to be doing a lot of coverage on the Euros and the squads. I have a lot to say about the Scotland squad. Which, to be fair, it's just even baffling that I have to say I have a lot to talk about the Scotland squad, and it's not like, oh, we're going for qualifying now. But Arn, do you want to, while I'm getting the running order up, do you want to talk about who our guest is going to be on Saturday?
Yes, Sunday. It's Sunday. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, on Sunday we're doing like a special. We're doing like a normal episode next Monday where. That's probably going to be talking about the Champions League final and stuff like that. Maybe get a bit of NBA in there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the guest for next week's episode on May the 30th is going to be Alan Forel, and we're going to have a lovely little chat about. He said 1995 to 2002. Like that's his wheelhouse. So like anything in there is fair game.
So I believe what we're all going to technically do is we're all going to get ice cream gelatos with Italian newspapers.
I actually looked at buying some Italian newspapers off eBay, but the price was ridiculous.
And basically pretend we're all James Richardson. No, it's very exciting. I can't wait. I might even ask him about his Championship Manager game. Because he loves about Championship Manager, does Alan?
Yeah, he played the retro one. The retro, I can't remember which year it was. Probably 0102.
102, yeah. And JP apparently thinks we're a Football Manager podcast, which is quite funny.
We've barely talked about Football Manager.
We'll have an episode where we'll talk about it.
We'll do it. We'll do an episode.
Yeah, the NBA, the insane atmosphere of the Garden last night. I saw the buzzer beater, which was not the buzzer beater, but the last shot in the minute. That was quite fun. Spike Lee looked really, really sad. It was a fun time. Right. We will be back next week on Sunday.
Yeah, we're doing the Alan 4L episode is next Sunday, and then we'll be back the following day with a normal scheduled episode.
And then on Monday, we'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about. We might do an episode or something. I'm trying to bug Arn about doing an episode with maybe on a Saturday or something where we just do like a live phone-in kind of thing.
Yeah, it'll be like less time restricted.
Yeah, where people like Haffers and Rian and Yao and not
we're just getting on for a chat.
Not Domi for sure, since I'm going to ban him after this.
I definitely swear.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's another thing. It's the Indy 500 next Sunday. We've got so much to talk about on Monday when it happens, Arn. But yeah, we'll be talking about anything you want us to talk about. If you have any questions for us, please just hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Eddie Sideburns. This man has two different ones. One is at Arne_FM. The other is Arn Furious. He will not talk about wrestling unless you give him a nice request to do so, depending on if he's in the mood to do it.
Pay me.
Yes, pay him. Come on, do it. What are you waiting for? Afers is going to talk about Blackpool losing the playoff final. Rian, it has been a pleasure. Also, I want to just do a quick shout out. Sorry, nothing too major. I think Rian is doing a charity stream or live 12-hour something. If Rian wants to just quickly, before I let this podcast end, tell me in the chat what he's doing. I think it's something about he does a podcast and he's doing a charity thing. So I'm just giving him the moment to talk about it. Arn to Arn only fans, but it's him watching. Is it just actual video of him just sitting watching it, just going, I don't like that.
I am disturbed at the amount of people who've asked me to start an OnlyFans, and it's just not happening.
I think you should start like a coffee thing where people give you money and just say, please review this. Just my thing. Anyway, I'm sure he'll comment about it under Arn's show feet. Right, we do need to wrap up. I'm sorry, Rian. But if you could, I say, me and Arn will both retweet it out when we can. Or just put it in the chat and we'll retweet it. But yeah, I've been Eddie Sideburns. This has been Arn Furious. I am still finding different ways to say goodbye in this podcast. We will see you all on Sunday. Please come and join us and ask Alan as many questions as you want. I'm curious to see how many wrestling references he makes, comparing wrestlers to footballers. And we'll see you all on Sunday. Oh, there we go. 12. Here we go. Got it. 12th of June, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Need of Jigsaw Mental Health. 1 p.m. we're doing a Streets We'll Never Forget 11, and if you'd like to be a part of it, let me know. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure one of us will come and do something with it.
Okay.
Anyway, we will speak to you all on Sunday. Goodbye. Bye-bye.